Hello everyone, welcome back to some more of the BOTTA mod for Battlefield 2 Rise of the Witch King. This time we're playing with the Misty Mountains. And as I mentioned, the Misty Mountains has two sub-factions, the Goblin Town and Gundabad factions. And apologies if I sniffle a lot and cough, I am unfortunately a little bit under the weather. Started a week ago, unfortunately, as I was recording the Isengard campaign. Not the Isengard campaign, the Isengard video last week. I kind of unfortunately fell ill. So starting off by playing as the Gundabad faction. We have all of the good faces that we know from the Hobbit movie. We have this guy, and this guy. Head cut off by Legolas. Head cut off by Thranduil. Thrown into a den of wargs by Azog. Then Bolg and Azog himself. Yeah, that is how I describe those first three characters. Beheading, and devoured. And that is basically as good as they get. Yeah, his actual name, Thimble. It's quite the strong scout. Gundabad orcs in the round and gain stealth and gain armor and speed. Yeah, you don't want to underestimate how quickly he can kill things from the shadows. Because obviously, the purpose of Azog's scouting warg party from Dol Guldur was to be an assassin of sorts. His warg riders were mostly unknown and uncontested until the part with I don't remember the name of when the elves of Rivendell found them, and so on and so on and so on. Yeah, not going to go into the Hobbit movie lore because it is all just messed up. What else to say about the Misty Mountains? Powers. We have Infestation, which is tainted land, but it is a detrimental effect, similar to Frozen Land for Angmar, but instead of just slowing enemies down, it removes armor, damage, and it poisons them, which is really strong. You've got a map-wide AoE, healing, damage, and speed effects. You have your bats. We have our recruitment building. We have our own industry for 5. And this lasts until it's destroyed. And the effective structure also gains resources per kill. Probably the best industry effect, and it only costs 5. Yeah. Mountain Chieftain, the BOTTA power, I think is the weakest of the BOTTA powers. But it does still have its place. And then another new power, Fire Rate. Summon a fire-breathing dragon to the battlefield. It may seem bad, but against a horde faction, this just cleans up so well. Then we've got the Wereworm, which, for those of you that haven't played BOTTA before, is the undermine system for the orcs, well, goblins, Misty Mountains, but it's temporary, but you can make several of them, and they connect to your mine shaft underground network. And it's a giant bloody worm, how can you not like that? Mist of the Mountains, also known as Lag Central, just gives everything mist. Enemy units lose vision, armor, and speed. And then get Summon Wash of the Water, because why not? And our last two powers. You may think having Smaug and the Balrog is super powerful, but you only get one. If you're Gundabad, you get Smaug. If you're Goblin Town, you get Balrog. You can't ever have both. It's one or the other. Which makes Gundabad, to be fair, probably the most fun faction right now to just experiment around with and have different gameplays, different gameplay scenarios. So you may be wondering, we're getting resources per kill. Do we have Scavenger? Well, we have a bounty hunt. By Azog's order, enemies in radius of area will gain bounty for each kill. If they gave this to Isengard, it would actually make them stronger, and I think it would be a nice balance. But I can keep complaining about Isengard all I want. Then they're probably not going to make them too much stronger, or if at all. Uh, so I have two buildings, our main recruitment buildings for cavalry, infantry. We get warriors, archers, and spearmen, and then we have our warg scouts, warg riders, and a pact with the wargs, which makes all wargs healthier and gain experience faster, which is always fun. And then we get the mountain, the Gundabad mountain monster cave. You might also be noticing we have no restricted. Oh wait, no, we do. Oh, for a second, I was about to say, yeah, Gundabad doesn't need any late game units because it's just too strong anyway. But no, I think it's both have late game units. For Gundabad, it's the units that came out from Gundabad that rode out with Bolg to arrive with Azog at the Battle of Five Armies. It might be wrong. It might be the army that just went out of Doggle Door anyway. Don't know, don't care. They both look the same. Yeah, our first three units are basically the... Actually, no, these might... I don't know, I don't care. These units are the scoutish units that basically Azog gets to begin with. It's only with having the influence of Sauron, basically, is what the Mountain Chieftain's power is. Do we have the authority to command our more elite troops? And I've also noticed, by destroying buildings, you get a lot of experience. So that's something to point... That's always something to just keep in mind. Whenever you're building, or whenever you want your heroes to level up faster, just go find a building to crush. Here's the monster cave. We get our Gundabad battle trolls, and then we get the armor for the battle trolls. So they look like what is from the Battle of Five Armies. And then we get the stone giants, which has the image for the stone giant Bargrassar from War in the North. I can't believe I actually remember that name on the top of my head. Ooh, that felt good. Nose is getting a bit blocked. Trying to speak, so I'm not speaking so really monotone, because I know no one likes a monotone voice. Anyway, Fimbul's other abilities. Coming back to that, he can immediately just reveal a small area of the map, and he gets 50% extra speed, so he can run away really fast. And Azog is the archer hero, who doesn't get a mount, surprisingly, because he is... I think he is... in the Hobbit movie lore, I'm not calling it canon, I'm just going to call it Hobbit movie lore. Azog is just the archer, one of the archers that come with Bolg, and wasn't actually in the first movie. We know Fimbul was, because he was the orc that came back with Yazneg, who's going to be our next hero, and we're going to now reactivate this ability because it is a not a permanent scavenger you get. But, surprisingly, for how long it lasts, you don't need it to be permanent. Let's get the goblin mining, because, surprise, surprise, I'm starting to realise that having a strong economy is really good. And Gundabad gets that in spades. Gundabad Armory. Gundabad Quarry is our special building. And I'm also noticing these special buildings that the Isengard faction gets from their lumber mill doesn't generate resources. I think that needs to get patched. Because the fact they don't make resources and every other faction's one of these does makes them really weak. Not making resources, spending 500 is really bad. Especially since you're not getting anything else out of it. Anyways, got ourselves a Gundabad battle troll, and we might as well get the troll armor too. Lose all of our money, and then we just have to go from there. While we make more wargs and warg riders. And you may be wondering, why am I spamming warg riders? Because it feels fun. Gundabad is the one faction I think I can say I have fun spamming cavalry. Not even with Rohan, I enjoy spamming cavalry. I mean, obviously Rohan's not in this game, but if Rohan was in this game, I'd probably spam cavalry anyway. But it feels more fun with Gundabad because it's an evil faction. Evil factions never spam cavalry, right? Wrong. The one time you can say you can spam cavalry with an evil faction is Gundabad. Because that is literally their whole thing. They were, well, in the beginning at least, they're a scoutish faction that can actually race opponents' bases, not destroy them, but harass them unlike what Isengard can, because Warman of Dunland are slow and terrible units. Should not cost 200. I'm just going to say that out loud and see if anyone on the BOTTA team is going to react to that. Hopefully yes, because it is a very prudent point. Oh, Denethor's still alive. Now he's dead, and all his tower guard go with him. And you may also be wondering, why am I not making any other foot units other than the archers? Because cavalry cleans up everything. Cavalry just keeps everything on the ground, while the archers clean up. And anytime the archers do get hit by units, they're actually surprisingly tough, because they're orcs of Gundabad. And if there's anything I've learned from non-canon Gundabad, is that their units are just extremely tough. Oh no, Fimbul's dead. Well, he's back. Why can I see the map? Now I'm confused. What did I do? What did I do? I think it's time to go back before we get a bit over our heads. Fimbul's return. Let's get Azog, Bolg, even whatever. The good orc, Bolg. Anyway, do you remember when I was talking about all those unfortunate like string miniatures, well, string animations that don't really work all the time? Well, guess what also does it? It's a giant bloody troll. A troll is doing the same thing as the Orc Overseer did for Isengard. Apologies if you can hear that. I'm moving away from the mic and everything to try and make sure you can't hear me coughing my lungs out, but obviously I can't mute me slowly dying. Oh well. Now get the Gundabad Armory and our BOTTA Hero Power building. Let's get the time. Yeah, Yazdeg just has a lot of passive powers. Stealth even when he shoots. Orc units around, well, Orc archers gain extra armor. Gains range and vision. Can detect stealth units. That explains it. That explains it. He just reached level 8, so he just got a lot of range. I've never gotten to level 8 before. Narzog and nearby archers gain double damage and range. See, so another reason why I went only archers, because Narzog only helps Gundabad Orc archers and not Gundabad Orcs in general. And again, because your main foot troops are just trolls, and trolls is kind of good. Also, the second you fix the sprite for the troll armor, because it doesn't work. It just gives them. I don't think it gives them the armor. I can't tell. Yeah, soon we'll get the stone giants, which cost 4,000 currently, but we can spend 800 to reduce the cost of them by 15%, which is actually really good. Also, I did not realise that Narzog can reveal this much. This is stupid levels of range. Oh my god. We need a few more cavalry units because we've got too many archers. Although once we get the serrated arrows from our armory, it'll all be worth it. Good old battle totem, same as the white hand thing for Isengard and so on and so on. It's the heroic statue, etc, etc. That's always put into one. Yeah, medium range of not attack gets a heal, gives command points, and gives armor and total fear resistance within range. Oh, Yazneg's upgrades to level 10. And they've got catapults. Yeah, Gondor really likes making their siege equipment. And there's a Pippin over there. Oh yeah, another thing to note. This might take a while, because the last time I played against Gondor was me testing Isengard again. Yes, I managed to win, but oh my god, I had to turtle for so long, it was ridiculous. It took me an hour. It was similar to the Elven video. Charge, gives damage, double speed, enemy immunity to spears. Oh. Another reason why Warg Riders are good. Because of Yazneg, you just get total spear resistance, which means you don't take damage from spears. Look at all those. Look at that beautiful face. Its eyes aren't even centered in one location. They're just everywhere. What other powers can we show off? I want to show off. I guess we'll just wait for the Wereworm and then get Smaug. Because oh my god, Smaug is beautiful. He still feels a bit weak. So the fact he is Smaug, but nah. You don't want him too strong. Because then he's Sauron level, and Sauron is a very hard character to beat in power level. And in fact, because of Yazneg's ability to see the map so easily, I might actually try to find Gollum and get the ring and get Sauron. That might be worth doing. Let's get the bounty. Again, give something like this to Isengard, please. Just give to Isengard something. They need something. And let's get the new Gundabad, or the BOTTA building, Gundabad Hall. Oh, that is beautiful. Let's get some more armories up so we can reduce the cost of our upgrades. And another thing I've noticed with Isengard and the Misty Mountains, their armories don't have them split between like weapons and armor. Mainly because all their things are like custom made, slightly, I don't know. But yeah, it feels a bit too simple, and you could still split them off into better and, well, really good and not as good. You can still do that. But obviously, the fact that it isn't all that same system means you don't suffer from the problem of if you don't have, well, until the glitch is sorted, you can't get all other forms of upgrades. Anyway, let's get Azog. He's waiting to show his face. And we can now get the Earth Eater, so we can bring him out even sooner. We're going to show it off once he's arrived. Upgrades. Reduces the cost of Gundabad improved armor and Gundabad improved weapons by 15%. And units can be upgraded around the fortress. Oh, okay. So if you build your armories further away, so they don't get focused, you can then just put them around the fortress. Yeah, that's a decent idea, as long as you don't accidentally press on the fortress while you're doing it and then sell all your units. Because, oh, I've done that before and it is hilarious to happen. But unfortunately, it does often lose you the game. Anyway, let's have a look at these units. We've got the Gundabad Orc Swordsman, Orc Pikeman, the Gundabad General, and the Trophy Schools. And yeah, these are the units that come from Dol Guldur, not Gundabad in particular. Although I guess you could say they would probably descend from the units from Gundabad were originally, well, the units in Dol Guldur that came out from Dol Guldur in the second movie were units that originally came from Gundabad from it's so hard to try and explain and not sound stupid saying it, but yeah. The reason Azog and Ball came down from Gundabad is because Sauron called them. They had a retinue. I'm basically just making lore up as I go, which isn't actually the worst thing that happened in those movies. But Azog, Commander of Legions, gives medium experience to Gundabad Orcs. Gundabad Orcs around Azog gain damage, armor, and double experience. Summon 3 battalions of Gundabad Swordsmen. Azog gets extremely enraged and gains 200% damage and, pardon me, faster attack speed. Lasts for 20 seconds. And Azog Azog defiles enemy heroes in a medium radius. Heroes lose armor, damage, and speed. Lasts for 1 second. 1 minute even, not 1 second. Lasts for 1 minute. That... it's okay. I think he has different powers when he's not in his... already got the BOTTA hero power stage. Obviously, he looks different as well. He's got his different prosthetic on. Oh, no he doesn't. No he doesn't. No he doesn't. Not yet. I think it's like when he reaches... that's it. His passive ability. Once he reaches his passive ability, he then gets his special armor. Bolg already has his special armor that he gets with... or maybe not. I can't tell. I haven't watched the movies in long enough. Summons 4 hordes of vicious Gundabad berserkers. Okay, these are the units that come out from Gundabad. Oh, and they come up at level 5. Baby girl. Enemies lose armor and cannot gain experience. And this upgrade just includes spiked maces. And how am I at 10,000 already? I lost count. Alright, because this faction has good economy. I'm just going to keep saying Isengard's bad until they get fixed. Let's just get that. Let's just let that sink in. I don't think I have all 10 mines up, and I'm making more money than Isengard by a landslide. Yeah, by a landslide. Anyway, let's keep the main army in here for now. There's banner carrot. So yeah, you just can actually get fully armored and stuff, even though you have elite units. It still feels a bit pointless going for them because you're, like I said, your infantry isn't really your forte. Is using cavalry, running enemies down with cavalry, while supporting with archers. Obviously, you think them being the ultimate fighting force for Sauron during the time when he was the necromancer, they would be decent, and they are, to an extent. Gundabad Ferocity, Gundabad Swordsmen encamped around the Gundabad General respawn their horde members for 5 seconds. Okay, just says get up, you scum, or something like that. That'd be fun to hear. Oh, word crop. Oh yeah, the word crop, you scum. Quotes. I realise I should be making some sentry towers to stop the enemy from getting close and attacking while I'm attacking. Anyway, I'm sure you all want to see the wereworm. There you go. It's humongous, and it can reposition anywhere on the map. No, it can't. It can only reposition on the map you have on the area of the map you have vision of. But yeah, this now is a part of the underway system for a certain amount of time. Which may not sound very good, but trust me, it is. It really, really is. And they're attacking my base, and I had no idea why. Why? Oh, I implore these people to protect me, and they don't do anything. I'm disappointed. Well, guess what? We're gonna give scavenger to this building. I think the fact that they mix scavenger in with a different power, which you think makes absolutely no sense, but it kind of does. Because it's also stealing the like the gems and riches that like the soldiers might have like How's a nice way to say this? If Gondor soldiers was coming in, you'd use this as power. Not only are you making a slight risk in the fact that you might lose the building, so you're losing the upgrade, but the fact you're also getting a scavenger effect is a nice little bonus. Where did you come from? Who are you? Are you Faramir? I don't want to know. Oh wait, no. Azog killed you because he uses one-shot kill move. Pretty good. We'll back all of you. We need our infantry. We don't need pikemen because they're not making any cavalry. Get the rest of those Gundabad generals out. Make the second outpost so we can get some more command points. Make some more of those war totems. And we're just 21 points away from Smaug. And I'm not finishing this video until we make him. So yeah, like I said earlier, Pact of the Warg gives Warg Riders health and experience. We're going to get that now. So the Pack Leader adds General to the units. And Prow requires the Pack Leader upgrade, which is basically the banner carrier upgrade for them. Gundabad Warg Riders gain 25% speed and increased line of sight. Lasts for 20 seconds. Which feels kind of pointless, since we have Azog that's got a massive range over everything else, and we still need to find... We need to get Sauron in here. We need to get Sauron in this house. We can also do with more income. Do I have the scavenger ability again? Not yet. That's just the enemy. That's nothing new. Oh yeah, and they can't focus these, so they don't have health bars. So you could literally put this right on top of their base, have one whole army go in, have a lot of resources banked up, then build a second army while the first army's dying, and then bring that second army in. And that's a really fun strategy to do from time to time. And yeah, spending 800, all my stone giants now cost 800 less. Such a worthy investment. Halfway to Smaug. Oh yeah. What am I... they're all there. Okay, you guys are just useless. What are these doing? Target suffer damage and a crippled. You get a crippled shot on all of your orc archers. And these guys are dying to a Pippin. Kill the Pippin. Fimbul's dying, but nah, it's Fimble. Who cares? I know I don't. Got 21 power points. It's just me, or does it just feel like that Isengard gets no power points, while every other faction just gets a lot? It can't just be me, right? It can't just be me. It might just be the circumstances. In some circumstances you get more power points, and some you don't. I don't know. It just feels like it might just be with Mordor. If you're fighting Mordor, expect to not gain any command points, power points even, whatever they're called. I can't make that battle troll that died. Oh well. Make more sentry towers. I like how they're all still alive. Get in there and stay healthy. Get in there and stay healthy. If I had Sanon, we'd be hearing those drums a lot more often. Trust me. They are very loud. Need to keep spamming. Need to keep spamming. Can these destroy a trebuchet before getting this squashed? Nope, they did no damage. Okay, good to know. Don't... Yeah, maybe not spam these orc archers like I thought we could. at this point, because now you're just fighting trebuchets, heavily armoured units, and structures, and none of those things are weak to archers. None of them. I mean, if you're on the defensive, then yeah, you can make them and you'll be fine. But you have to get to a point where it doesn't work. Brutality, I guess you can only do while he's on foot. Legions of Gundabad commands his army from Gundabad to march on an enemy. All Gundabad units are trained 3 times faster for 30 seconds. Nice. Already talked about all of Azog's powers. Oh yeah, I never actually went through all of Yaznek's powers. He gets Gundabad wargs to surround him because he was basically the hunt master at the time of before the company reached Rivendell, but after they got the 3 elven swords. Rush attack. Yaznek rushes at his prey and gains double damage and speed. He's immune to spears. So yeah, he's just the ultimate warg rider, and he doesn't care who knows it. In fact, he encourages you to know it. Then he gets Gundabad wargs and warg riders around and gain armor and damage, and then he can also summon Gundabad wargs and warg riders at a certain location to ambush enemy units. So if you find a choke point that you like, just harass an enemy, or you just want to leave them to destroy a building while you, I don't know, have a smoke, you can just leave them there and they'll do their job well. And obviously, like I said, it's level 10 power. All wargs and warg riders, including himself, gain damage, double speed, and immune to spears for 20 seconds. Really good. Really, you can't just train faster? Oh, it's these units. Okay. Let's get some just basic orc warriors. They still train really slowly, I'm going to have to admit. But I like the bat effect. It's better than the effect that the normal thing gives. I can't remember its name. Call the Horde. Is it Call the Horde? I think it's Call the Horde. We've got some money now. Let us get weapon upgrades. And armor upgrades and so forth. Again, terribly sorry about all the coughing. It was either me cough a lot while recording or don't record at all. And yeah, I chose I chose to do the smart thing and just record anyway and just say if you don't like the coughing, can't do much about it because I still need to get these recordings done. I refuse to go a week without recording a video if I can help it. Unless I'm really, really ill to the point I can't stand up straight or sit up straight in my current situation, then I won't record. But I can, and I am. And we still haven't got all of our... Oh, there we go. And we still haven't built all the mine shafts we can, have we? Yeah, no, we can still build more tunnels. So again, I'm just going to keep saying this, but yeah, please give Isengard something. They're just too defensive, and don't think because the Dunlendings have a power that gives them resources whenever they attack buildings that they're good against buildings. That is a terrible assumption. I mean, defensively, yeah, they're okay, but every other way, no, they are terrible. Those are terrible units. In fact, they're only slightly better than orcs, and yet they cost more than twice that amount. Yeah, it feels bad. Okay, they just keep making more trebuchets. We need to do something about that. So yeah, this is Smaug's entrance image. Oh my god, that is still so beautiful. Let's summon him. Because I don't care. Really? You're really going to do this to me? Where is he? You better bring him down. Really? If you're wondering what the hell just happened, that was caused because my command points are too high. And now Smaug's on cooldown. Yep. Why? If he's not a permanent summon, why is he restricted to power command points? Fix that bug, please. You've just aggravated my entire audience. Thanks, BOTTA. Thanks. You just aggravated my entire audience by not having. No, by having. That son of a. Oh, that is so many kinds of stupid. Let's just deselect everything. Make sure I'm not making any more units. Build this Gundabad command post, which allows for the Horn of Gundabad, which sound the Great Horn, which makes all Gundabad units on the map become resistant to fear and gain damage and speed. So it's an additional Drums of the Deep, but it stacks, so it's pretty good, I guess. I'll tell you what we do need though. We need these stone giants. I want to say mountain giants. Let's get them out of Grand Fortress 2. Let's get Golfimble, the legendary orc that died to a hobbit. And the only way we can get his units is if we get the crossbreeding, and we get the half troll pikeman and the half troll swordsman. Except they don't look like the original half trolls, which in a way is saddening because I prefer the older version. Rush straight for the base. Don't stop for anything else. Use your power. Use your power. You don't have any power. That's right, Azog. Summon those units. Summon those units. Come on, you piece of... See, he can summon units, so why can't I summon... I'm still annoyed. I'm still very annoyed at that. The fact I couldn't summon Smaug because of too many command points. And if it's not because of that, and if it's because of some other thing, then please fix that sooner. Because that's a stupid thing that I couldn't summon Smaug. Let's just get that straight. And says my theory, yes, you just as long as you have vision on the map, you can keep building these tunnels anywhere. And they last a decent while. Should have crossbreeding soon. It cost me 2,000, but hey, it's still better than bloody whatever Isengard gets. Let's summon this Fire Drake. Let's summon the Watcher in the Water. Can't do that. But let's have a look at this Fire Drake. Isn't he beautiful? I mean, he's really bad in sieges because he does literally no damage to buildings, and he takes a lot of damage from buildings. And his thing is just armor and... I mean, he does do pretty good damage against buildings when he focuses down in one place. Alright, you just make units. That's right, you get shot down by my... I don't even know. Golfimble, let's get to you then. Half trolls near Golfimble gain armor and speed. A powerful single attack which does high damage and knockback enemy hero. A pile of skulls that frightens enemy units. And Golfimble gains speed and can crush enemy units while moving. If you didn't know what this is from Shadow of Mordor and or War. I don't know which one, I don't care either. Dear God, this is taking a long time. Okay, this might not be worth it, but we'll find out. In fact, we might even get to that point because unlike Isengard, this faction actually does well in the siege. Oh, I'm gonna keep hating on Isengard. I'm gonna keep doing it. You can't stop me. Let's try and slow this things down by summoning the Watcher of the Water on my army. Let's use the... Again, you'd hear a very loud sound if I had sound on right now. And... if you think I'm making up the thing about you can't have Balrog and Smaug... In fact, did they even have any more buildings? Okay, they do have one. Then it's not over yet. Yeah, we're going to get 35 power points. I'm going to prove that we still can't use the Balrog. And if we can, then, yeah. Oh, ooh, I was not expecting that face. Oh, poor Thor. He got screwed over really badly. By an orc that doesn't even look like an orc. Let's face it, if it weren't for the ears, if you took the ears away, he would look like a normal human being. Oh, and the fangs. Maybe bring the nose out a bit. Give him some trace that he had hair. I don't know. But yeah, this looks more like an orc. This is more like an orc. That looks like an orc. This looks like a... That does not look like so much like an orc. This is the closest thing to an orc we'll get. Gold Thimble. Okay, 35 power points. Yep, I'd have spent 35 power points and got nothing. There we go. I was right for once. And let's see if these units are worth it. Resistance to knockback and trample. We only get a maximum of 3. Oh, some really elite units. You don't expect elite units. You wouldn't expect elite units like this for a faction like this. But yeah, we get them. We get them. We're cool like that. I should be remaking these heroes I lost. There was only one. I only lost one hero. Yeah, overall, Gundabad, a very raidy faction. Basically what Isengard's early game needs to be, but also has a very strong late game and aggressive effects that no other faction really has a counter to if they get off. And they're restricted to only having one tier 4 hero power. I mean, who does that? What faction needs that much of a detriment? A faction that's so strong it needs a one less ultimate power to be considered balanced. That just shows that where in the early game they thrive, in the late game they kind of fall off a bit. Except they don't, because look at this. One unit that's soloing a tier 3 farm. It technically costs 2,700 for that unit. And then each other one only costs its base amount, which is much better than you'd expect from a unit of that form. I don't know. Well, I would say I like to wait for Smaug, but I don't want to have to waste another 10 minutes where I could be making another video. So unfortunately, no Smaug for today. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. And next time I'll remember to save some power points to make sure I don't get screwed over by... Oh, that's still grinding my gears. The fact that they actually allow that to happen. To be fair, this battle might actually last a little bit longer because I'm not paying attention to the fact I have no army. And yeah, they've rebuilt a lot. Or rebuilding a lot. How dare you attack my special building? Oh, pardon me. Excuse me. Wherever. I'm just in pain. But yeah, half trolls. Really cool. Really nice. Very. Yeah. Gundabad is one of those factions you just have to say nice to. And then there's Gold Thimble using Dane's, the original Dane sprites animations, which I always like from BFME 2. Can anyone focus him from there? No, look, if anyone can do it, it's you. No, well, I better finish. I'm actually going to make a ship. I'm actually going to make... I never took it. Now, let's just finish this already. And now, let's see if we can break the game! So I don't have to keep going through this. Mist of the Mountain. It is still the same. And surprisingly, not doing that much lag. But to be fair, that's probably because the enemy doesn't have an army. Which is another thing I've noticed. These buildings that Gondor likes to make so many of, they don't ever recruit anything from them because they require the upgrade. They require the upgrades from the fortress, which the AI never gets. So if you destroy the enemy's original barrackses, they will never remake them because they'll just make these and then you just win. So that's a problem with the Gondor AI. Again, I didn't know I was going to be fighting Gondor, but it's always good to note when something like that does happen. Gondor just glitches out once you destroy their main building, and they only make the fiefdom units. They don't actually make any elite units. So right now the Gondor AI is really weak, but a Gondor player is really strong. Like, oh, Gondor is still a strong has probably become one of the strongest factions. Mordor's still the strongest. Let's not say that Mordor's still not the strongest faction, because they are the strongest faction. Nothing will ever change that fact. Mordor is too strong. Mordor in general is just too strong. Here we go. It's just a mountain giant, but it's been given more of a stony texture. Oh, there's one there too. Oh, I did not see that coming. Completely forgot that these get made really quickly. Kind of, I don't know. But yes, exactly the same as the mountain giants. In fact, he's even called mountain giants. It's called a stone giant on there. Oh well. There's only so much you can do with some things. Oh no, they destroyed the building. Bastards. How dare they? Okay, let's end this. Let's end this. In fact, no, we're close to getting Smaug. Let's not end this. Let's not end this. We're getting Smaug. We are showing off Smaug. No more units. Stop. 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 Everything stop. Everything stop in its tracks. We're getting Smaug, and that is final. So it is written, so it is done. We will have Smaug. I'm sorry for everyone that... if you're not watching anymore... oh, and that's a good thing. The crossbreeding stays forever. And let's just stop them from making any more builders by destroying their economy. And not the fortress building, because then they can't win or survive. They just die. Okay, now we just wait. Now we just wait. Destroy this siege works. But yeah, I think the Mordor faction is probably the AI for the faction is probably currently the best and hardest to beat, as proven when I played as Isengard. Are they attacking this again? Okay, this time I can actually shoot it. Now we're just waiting for Smaug. I said it was going to take 10 minutes. I did say I'm going to stop making those units because I'm not an idiot. I promise. Let's have a look at these buildings. We can get the giant sentry, we can get a arrow den, and we can get the new warg burrow. We can get serrated arrows, we can get desecrated enemies. And I must admit, contrary to what you might think, both of the Misty Mountain factions are actually quite unique and quite different. Where Gundabad focuses on more of the elite side of the orcs of the mountains. Okay, now bring him forth. Okay, we'll just get no Smaug then. Okay. Currently, Smaug does not exist in the game. Patch this! Get this sorted! That is the most ridiculously stupid thing I've ever seen. So currently Gundabad doesn't even have a late game power. Because they can't get the Balrog. You can spend the points for it, but you can't get the Balrog. But now you also can't get Smaug. What kind of is that? What is that? Honestly. What? I feel embarrassed that I waited another 10 minutes for this. But yeah. Next time we'll get to see the orcs of Goblin Town, and you get to see the more Mordor faction out of the two. The spammy, really weak faction units, but also has some really, really cool units. But until then, I hope you've all enjoyed, and I hope before the next video my throat clears up a little bit more so I can narrate slightly better. But until then, ta-ta for now. That was terrible.